Waiters, what's the worst first date you've ever seen? I've been working at Bella Luna, this fancy Italian place downtown, for about 3 years now. You see all kinds of people come through those doors, but nothing compares to what I witnessed last month. It was a Tuesday evening, typically our slowest night, when this woman walked in wearing a stunning red dress that probably cost more than my monthly rent. She was clearly nervous, constantly checking her makeup in her compact mirror and rearranging the silverware I had just perfectly aligned. She mentioned it was a blind date set up by her cousin, her first date since her divorce finalized 6 months ago. Her date was already 15 minutes late when she ordered a glass of our most expensive Cabernet. 30 minutes in, with still no sign of her date, she'd finished that glass and ordered another, scrolling through her phone with increasing agitation. I felt terrible for her, watching as her hopeful expression slowly morphed into embarrassment. Just as I was about to offer her some complimentary bruschetta to ease the awkwardness, this guy finally stumbled in, disheveled, wearing wrinkled khakis and a stained polo shirt that had definitely seen better days. The hostess pointed him toward the woman's table, and I watched as recognition dawned on her face, followed quickly by visible disappointment. Still, she politely stood to greet him. That's when I noticed he wasn't alone. Trailing behind him was another woman, casually dressed in jeans and a t-shirt. "This is my sister," he announced loudly enough for nearby tables to hear. "Hope you don't mind, but she needed a ride to meet friends downtown later." My stomach dropped for this poor woman as I approached to take their orders. The sister immediately commandeered the conversation, interrupting constantly while the guy barely acknowledged his actual date. When it came time to order, he selected the most expensive steak on the menu, then 2 appetizers for the table, before asking his date if she minded covering dinner since he forgot his wallet. The woman's face flushed with humiliation, but she nodded stiffly. The sister ordered nearly as extravagantly, adding a cocktail to her selection. Throughout the meal, the guy checked sports scores on his phone while his sister dominated what little conversation occurred. My suspicions were confirmed when I returned with their entrees and caught them holding hands under the table when they thought no one was looking. The woman excused herself to the restroom, and I followed to check if she was okay. I found her fighting back tears by the sink. "That's not his sister, is it?" she asked quietly. I couldn't lie to her. She nodded, took a deep breath, and asked me for a favor. When we returned, she announced she had a work emergency and needed to leave immediately. Before departing, she handed me her credit card and whispered instructions. I waited until she was gone before processing the payment, but only for her single glass of wine. When I informed the couple their date had only covered her own drink before leaving, their expressions were priceless. The guy sputtered, insisting there must be some mistake. "Actually," I said, loud enough for nearby tables to hear, "she specifically mentioned that since you brought your sister on your blind date, your sister could pay for your meal." The surrounding tables erupted in poorly concealed laughter as I stood there, check in hand, waiting. The sister frantically searched through her purse, eventually producing a credit card that was promptly declined. They ended up washing dishes in our kitchen for 2 hours to pay for their meal. The woman called the restaurant the next day to thank me and left me a $50 tip. Sometimes karma works the dinner shift too.